Good morning, Terraria players, and welcome back to another episode of the Calamity Mod 1 Block Challenge. If all goes well, the finale will be next week, or maybe the week after. Depends on how successful this is. But first, here's a list of the main mods used for this run, with the Calamity mod and the 1 Block Challenge mod by Joe Rail, Empress of Beasts, the Magic the Gathering card released in the Prophecy expansion. Don't forget that I do take suggestions for mods. The one after Calamity is a suggestion mod. Let me know your suggestions down below. Also, if you missed it, check out my announcement video I had last Friday. Pretty exciting stuff. Now, let's get back into it, starting with the big worm himself, and a little bit of a rant. Now, of course, I do have a rant to do beforehand. Never have I been burned out on Terraria than when I was stuck on the Devourer of Gods. I genuinely think this boss is the most flawed modded boss that I have fought and is in desperate need of a rework. Even worse than Azana from Elements Awoken. The burnout I felt when stuck on this boss was so bad I couldn't even open Terraria because I knew I'd have to deal with the massive BS that was this boss. From the absolutely horrible laser phases to the hugely inflated damage, to the sheer annoyance and its many rapid fire behavior changes to its unpredictable 180 turns that insta-kill you, I do genuinely hate this boss and have dreaded the episode where I had to fight him since I started this Calamity run. Skill issue? Sure, you can say that. I have beaten Fargo Soul's Masochist mode before, and it wasn't as horrible as an experience as fighting the Devourer of Gods. Like, no joke, the Mutant was more fun. And the Mutant is, that is tough. And so I made a decision. To not jeopardize the channel, I decided I would go God mode for the fight, and go down to regular Expert mode for the rest of the mod, just so I don't burn out again. The burnout has been real, and at this point I just want Calamity to be over. I'll still show off the fight just to have it as a showcase of his moveset, with me moving around to show it all off. Enjoy! Devourer of Gods down. Inside his treasure bag, he had Cosmolite bars, a new crafting material for some dope gear, multiple weapons from his loot pool, and his expert mode item, the Nebulous Core, which gives 10% extra damage and summons nebula stars to protect you. It also allows you to survive a lethal hit and go up to 100 health with a 90-second cooldown. Also, when the Devourer of Gods went down, the Frost Moon, Pumpkin Moon, and Solar Eclipse all got powered up, with the enemies dropping new materials. From the Frost Moon, Endothermic Energy, from the Pumpkin Moon, Nightmare Fuel, and from the Solstice, Dark Sun Fragments. Time to grind. I'll showcase a bit of each event before moving on, just to show how they got powered up. Timestamps, of course. With the events complete, it was time to make some upgrades, quite a lot of them. I crafted a Cosmic Anvil, then a bunch of Ascendant Spirit Essence, which was a combination of the materials from the events and Phantoplasm. Now, here comes the upgrades. To start, I upgrade my Asgard's Valor into the Asgardian Aegis, which combine the effects of the Elysian Aegis and the Asgard's Valor. Next up, I made the Nucleogenesis, one of the pinnacle summon accessories for this mod. It combined the effects of the Star-Tagen Generator with the Status's Curse, and gave 4 minion slots, more minion damage, and minion knockback. Next up, I made the Rampart of Deities, an upgrade to the Deific Amulet. It gave 18 defense, the effects of Star Veil, Philosopher's Stone, Paladin Shield, and Frozen Turtle Shell. Next up, I upgraded my Seraph Tracers into the Elysium Tracers, which gave better speed and wing flight over the Seraph Tracers. Next up, as we aren't done yet of course, I crafted the Silva armor. There were no summon versions of the Godslayer armor made out of Cosmolite, so Silva I went. The armor set bonuses get really long from here on out, so here it is. Next up, I crafted the Dark Sun Ring, which gave bonus damage and melee speed, life regen, more pick speed, 2 more minion slots, more minion knockback, and during the day you get more life regen, and during the night you get 15 more defense. Quite a lot. The final thing I made before moving on was the Saros Possession, an upgrade to the Sirius. It was just much stronger. And now we get to the next modded boss, Jungle Dragon Yaran. His summon item is made from Effulgent's feathers from the Bumbleburb and life alloys. And now, let's get into the fight. Enjoy! Yaran down. When he went down, auric ore spawned in the one block, as it couldn't spawn in the world. Titanium crates could also hold auric ore, which is something I learned as I was typing the script. Inside Yaran's treasure bag, he held Yaran soul fragments, a new crafting material. He also held a weapon from its loot pool, Drew's wings, which were good wings that could be combined with the Elysian tracers soon, and his expert mode item, the Yaram's gift, which gave 30 defense and the ability to rain meteors during invincibility timer after you take damage. It also buffed damage and movement speed by 15%. The final thing I did for this episode was craft the Miracle Fruit, another 25 health upgrade. And with that, let's take a look at upgrades made for this episode. For armor, I went from the Bloodflare armor to Silver armor. For weapons, I crafted the Saros Possession. For accessories, I added the Asgardian Aegis, Nucleogenesis, Rampart of Deities, Elysian Tracers, and the Dark Sun Ring to my gear. In the next episode, we finish the mod, taking on the Exo-Mechs and Supreme Calamities. Stay tuned for that next week if everything goes according to plan. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Blade Burger out.